your host, Miss Lana. Sip and Talk Podcast. Sip and Talk Podcast. Sip and Talk Podcast. Starting soon.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. We're back again, and we have a good show for you this evening. Let me introduce my co-host. I have Miss Sneed here this evening.
Hello.
I
Hi,
have
everybody.
Jamie, and we got Boom with Podcast Lit. Tonight's going to be one of those discussions. So tonight we are talking about Kevin Samuels. The first story is his daughter is speaking out, and then the second story is one of his followers who impregnated his 13-year-old stepdaughter. So I'm going to play the first. All right, this is the daughter speaking out on how she feels about her dad.
To talk about for a very, very, very long time, especially when I was like really at the peak of my career in network marketing, because you get so many people who talk to you about their problems, their life issues, going through depression and anxiety and just all around just life. And it's always been that thing where I just felt like I could not talk about because I was really just putting other people before myself. I was trying to protect the image of my dad, not just because he is a figure in the community and that far. But what I do always remember is that I always felt like I was second. I always felt like I didn't matter. See, look, I'm about to cry. And I told myself I'm not gonna cry about like me and my dad not having a relationship anymore, but just talking about some of the things that have affected. My dad was physically there, but he was never mentally or emotionally there. And that is an issue within itself. I'm not going to talk about how my dad grew up because I have no idea. Every time I tried to talk to him to get him to open up so that I can understand him, he just made jokes. Like I remember a couple of months ago, I was like, Dad, did you ever deal with any traumas growing up like that made you who you are? And he was like, well, that one time your Uncle D, he stuck me with a diaper pin when he was changing my diaper when I was like 2. Like he just takes things as jokes. I don't know if it's because as how most men are, they don't like to open up. I don't know. I really don't care because I just feel like what you deal with growing up, you have the ability to decide how you're going to use that. You can use it to hurt people, or you can use it to say, you know what, I don't want to instill that in the people in my life. And you just keep it moving. So I primarily spent a lot of time at my dad's mother's house growing up because my sister didn't like going over there. She hated it. And I loved it because not only did I just absolutely love my grandmother and her husband, but because I was the only one there, I always got the attention there that I did not get at home. So I felt loved. I felt all of that. And when my grandmother died when I was 10 years old, I just became really depressed. For 9 years, I dealt with depression. I dealt with a lot of anxiety. I used to have panic attacks like in my sleep, waking up, just feeling like I couldn't breathe. And it just was really bad because I had to watch her disintegrate, like literally. She had pancreatic cancer and she died about 2.5 years after she was diagnosed. So it wasn't anything fast. And I think sometimes the slower deaths are just as bad as the fast ones because you literally watch somebody get really, really bad. I became suicidal because I just felt like the one person that I never had to question their love for me was gone. Yeah, I just always felt like I was second. One of the things that my dad used to do that really bothered me, and he actually laughed about it in Sunday's incident, and basically kind of threw his hands up as if it was like, whatever, like that's what he literally said, that's what you're mad about. I remember growing up, he grabbed me by my hair, and in the midst of doing that, threw my head up against the car window. And I just remember thinking to myself, what did I do wrong? And you're talking about about somebody. I didn't even get whoopings. I didn't get punishment. I didn't get grounded. I didn't get any of that. Because I was a good kid. I had a smart mouth sometimes. Because I was just too smart for my own good, but I was a good kid. So to not even get whoopings and to have something like that happen was really traumatic. And I remember when we got home, when I got out the car, he threw me up against the car. Probably one of the reasons why I have a bad back. My back is horrible. And that was that. I just remember hating him and feeling like the person that's supposed to protect me is not.
Okay, so that was the first video.
Hey, I'm mad because I can't see their facial expression. I really wanted to see what type of facial expression all y'all women's on the panel. Miss Nanda, you kept a straight face, but I couldn't see Kylie or Tanza or Miss Nee's facial expressions on while that girl was talking because I'm sure I'm finna piss y'all off. But go ahead.
It's over.
I know, but ladies first. I'm gonna keep quiet.
Well, I mean, I felt she spoke her truth. I can't knock her from speaking her truth. Like, she's not wrong for speaking her truth and her true feelings.
I'm just going to say, first of all, we've already discussed this prior to starting. So for everybody out there watching, I just found out the man was dead, literally, on this show about 3 minutes ago. So I didn't even know that. So with that considering, I'm thinking that her speaking out at this point is filled with a lot of different emotions. At the end of the day, this is a young girl who's lost her father. And no matter what any of our opinions are of him, that's deep. Losing your parent is serious. And so I can feel her with her emotions. And, all the stories that she's telling, that's, like you said, that's her life, her truth, her story. And it's a lot of emotion that's built up in that. And so one story may seem like one small thing, but in the grand scheme of everything that's going on in her world, it's huge. So I feel nothing but compassion and empathy for her right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt her pain. That's why I turned it off because I felt that, I understand where she coming from, and I'd be feeling the same way. Like, why? But I'm like Tanza. I didn't know the man was passed away either. So but like it's a lot. Like she's like Tanza says, a lot of emotions and stuff behind it, and she probably feeling some type of way. Not. I need to know, was this video made after her father passed or before he passed?
After.
So she was probably heartbroken. She was, probably releasing herself in some type of way. I don't
Shit,
know.
I'm gonna agree with y'all too. I mean, it's a bunch of emotions when it's all said and done. Then in a sense, maybe she feels like, okay, now she can speak somewhat her truth because she feels like, with her father, being present, she wasn't able to say much. I mean, you just never know in that situation. So I don't know. I mean, but I feel her. I mean, I've been through some stuff too, so I can kind of somewhat, relate. So.
And I think that one thing people don't realize, and I didn't really realize it till a couple of years ago when I lost someone, is one of the first and immediate feelings that you get in grief is a lot of anger and a lot of frustration at things that you couldn't say. And now the stories are replaying in your head, things that you couldn't do, or a lot of, so when you're grieving, a lot of times, especially what's portrayed on TV, is a lot of, oh, I love them, and oh, and I miss them so much, and all that. But in truth, in reality, in someone, because I lost my husband, and that was serious. But I am telling you, while I felt all those things too, for a long time, immediately, it was a lot of the crap feelings, like serious anger, and why didn't you do this, and why didn't you do that, and why, do you know what I'm saying? So all that, I'm very sympathetic to where she is. And I guarantee you that if she does an interview or 2 or 3 a year, 2 years, 5 years from now, you're going to hear different things come out of her, because that's just the process. That's just the process. Yeah. Go ahead, Boom.
Yeah. So as far as this lady losing her father, I understand her emotion. We heard her say in the interview she ain't want to bring none of this up because she ain't want to mess around or have people looking at her father crazy during this character. So we're gonna go ahead and bring up all this other bullshit while he's dead, because now we can all look at him bad. I guess we didn't want nobody looking at him bad when he was alive, but now that he's dead, you know what I'm saying, we can bring up him throwing us into a window. Now listen, I don't agree with the window situation, him throwing her, grabbing her by her hair, putting her into the window, but she did state, and I quote, she said, I do got a smart mouth. Now, how many of y'all have been smacked in your mouth by your mama for talking crazy, right? Like I said, I don't agree with the window situation, but nothing's never happened to me. I never got in trouble, and you done sit here and grab this girl by. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, somebody was calling me. Every time I'm on the phone, like every time I'm doing on the phone. Anyways, though, I don't know. All I know is that they didn't smacked it. He didn't put his hands on this girl. She felt bad, but she wanted to tell on him after, you know what I'm saying, he passed it. She want to put some more bad peppers on him. Now, I wouldn't do that to a person that died. If I'm gonna do you like that, I'm gonna do you like that right now while you getting your sign. You got me fucked up. You ain't about to sit here and do all this other shit and you acting like a whole nother person in public. I'm gonna tell it right now. I kind of feel like father, like daughter, like father, because you basically trying to capitalize off your father's death. Like your father was trying to capitalize off of whatever women was going through. Now you're trying to capitalize off of your father's death. I know you're sad. I respect that, you know what I'm saying? Because I'll be sad I lost a parent too. But I wouldn't sit here, if my mom died, I wouldn't sit here and go and be like, or my dad died, I wouldn't, oh, that nigga ain't never, if I ain't saying it now, I'm not about to do it like after he died. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not about to do it. So I think it's like just trying to get some type of capitalization off of it. Honestly, that's my real personal feelings. And how you gonna sit here and say that you had a smart mouth, but you ain't never got in trouble? That mean ain't nobody put their hands on you for talking crazy. Like nobody. So honestly, if you ask me, see, luckily that he just did that little because she said something about she not something being wrong with her back or something. Let her come out here and talk crazy to one of these women and then see what happened. Like it might be way worse than that. Like I mean, like I said, I don't agree with it, but you probably should be happy that that's all that happened to you. You know what I'm saying? Especially being able to get away or from what it seems like being fed with a silver spoon, or I don't know. I think it's capitalization. I feel sorry for her losing her father, but I can't go too much far into her all that crying because no, I just can't do it. That's my feelings though.
I get you, Boom.
Well,
I get you. But I want to
okay.
say this. Let me just interject this thought. So when you have a parent, because first of all, I don't think nobody can ruin his reputation. Okay. Because we all got, like, he did a good enough job for all of us.
For himself.
Hearing somebody say that he whipped their ass when they was a kid don't do nothing for me. That's
Right.
like, you know,
That's what I'm saying. So why bring it up then? If you want, why are you bringing it up?
Because she probably
What I
feels
was
like she
gonna
has a
say.
voice now.
Well, here's what I was going to say that we might want to consider, because, okay, none of us are in this whole, I mean, we're on this podcast, but we're not public figures, right? We're not, okay, if so, y'all need to go ahead and send me your autograph and send me my cut. But anyway, what I was going to say is that when you're a public figure, there are a lot of rules and regulations that go along with that. And so the people that are closest to you have to sign off on a lot of things. And you know what I'm saying? And so maybe it was never an opportunity for her. How old is she, Miss Londa?
She's in her 20s, I believe, or she might be even older than that. I don't think it ever specified how old she was.
But you have all these disclosure forms and things like that you have to sign that you can't say certain things with certain people because it's contractual. So maybe I'm assuming that since her father has passed, now she's a free agent and is able to speak out and people are booking her. And you can call that capitalization. That's fine. But listen, we all capitalize on our family's legacies. So, whatever, my parents did or didn't do, or what they left me behind or whatever, I'm going to use that to my, abilities or whatever. So
But
I
to
don't know
add,
if I'm ready to jump into that just
Yeah.
yet. I want to
Yeah.
give her some time and see what happens.
but even
down.
to add to
I
that,
see
like,
what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I'm sorry, Jamie. Go ahead.
no, you're good. But I'm just saying, even to add to that, I mean, you don't know what he was saying to her for her not to say anything. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, yeah, you're a public figure, so you can't say so much. But then on top of that, you don't know what she was probably scared of her father. Probably scared. There's probably more things that have happened, and we just don't know. You know what I
And
mean?
money.
So
I mean, he could be
we
cutting
won't.
her off if she said certain
Yeah,
things.
give him money. And now the fact that he's gone, I mean, I'm pretty sure she probably
She
wasn't
free.
wishing her father to leave no time soon. No one is, regardless of the type of relation, whatever happened between them. But in all reality, you just never know. Now you have a voice to speak on what you feel. You know, I mean, I kind of look at it. I'm trying not to judge it too much until like more information comes out, factual information at that.
Yeah.
Instead of this he say, she say, but all I can look at it is, she feels free that she's able to speak what she feels. And at the end of the day, that's her father. And the best person that can speak on her father is her and whoever else is in her corner, or in her circle,
Oh
you know?
man,
Do
listen,
you think
And
anything that she said is
but
any worse
like,
than the reputation that he already had? That's my
Say
one
that,
question for you,
say that one more
Lynn.
time.
I don't think that
Do you think
anything
anything she said makes him look worse than the light that he was already in while he was here, based
No,
off
you
of
should
what
have
was
seen the
coming out
last
of
thing
his
he
own
said
mouth?
to the girl before he passed away. Literally, and it's on his page. So, I mean, no, I don't feel like anything that she said will mess up anything. He
I
already
don't
did
think that
it
I don't think that
himself.
is I don't think that is the fact that she's trying to mess up anything. Like I said earlier, I think it's just capitalization. And so what? Okay, maybe we did do some little, disclosures where you can't say nothing. Now that he did, you feel like you can let it all out or whatever. But we talking about somebody who has literally said that they have a smart mouth. Like once
But what
once
does
you
that have to do
state
with anything, though?
Yeah,
what
I
I
do
mean,
you
don't
have to
see
do
everyone
the
with
has a
point of
anything?
smart
that.
mouth.
So she had a smart mouth. We
I
Why
both
is
understand
that a
that.
big
I
deal? Listen,
understand that
everybody
Listen,
got a
part,
listen,
smart
listen,
mouth.
too.
listen. What it has to do with it is
Boom.
because she
I
stated.
understand that
Hold on,
part
hold on,
because
hold
she
on. She
keeps
stated.
saying that.
She
Nah,
stated out
because
her
she
own
keeps saying
mouth.
that.
She said that this man put his hands on me, and the only thing that I did wrong was have a smart mouth. So your whole life that you walking around here getting smart with people, talking crazy to people, somebody finally decided to do, and that's what you want to use to why
actually,
No,
you
when she said she
no,
had a smart
no.
mouth, I didn't take it like she meant like that. She meant smart
Right.
as like if you say this, she's going to question you or she's got a rebuttal. I didn't take
I
it
don't
like
know if that's
she
what I don't know if
had
that's
a
what you
smart mouth.
comprehended.
We
I
don't
don't know if
know.
that's what you comprehended from the video, but I
That
listened to that
is what I
video
comprehended.
well, what I comprehended from it, I listened to it about 3 times. She basically said, I ain't never did nothing wrong. I ain't never did nothing at all. And I maybe had a smart mouth, but that's it. That's what she said. That's what I heard.
That
But that
still don't
doesn't
give
mean
your
that it's
father the
okay for
reason
him
to
to suck her
bang
head
your
into a
head through
It
his
gun.
don't give
window.
Yeah.
nobody no reason to bang your head, but y'all act like y'all grandmas and y'all mamas saying when you upside
My
down
mama
doing
ain't
stuff
never
like
hit
that.
my motherfucking head
She
through
didn't
no
throw me
window.
through a car window. She slapped
Now,
the
you
shit out of
said
me.
how many of us ever
I
got hit in
said
the head?
earlier I didn't respect the car window. That's what I said. I said earlier I don't respect him putting his grabbing her by her head and throwing up against the car. But what I'm saying is, if you go your whole life talking crazy to your own parents, and then you step out here in this world, somebody gonna do something worse to you than just throw you up against the car window. Is what I said.
So do you think I'm hearing from you is that you think what she was saying was that I'm a good kid, but I always had a smart mouth. And so your takeaway from that is that every time she opened her mouth, it was smart. So she deserved a knock upside the
No,
head.
what I'm saying is don't use. I'm
Nah,
saying
what
don't
he's
use that.
saying
I'm
is,
saying don't use that as a reason.
yeah,
So what?
I
Don't
hear what
use
he's
it.
saying.
Don't
He's
use
saying
it
she trying
to
to
like,
use
oh,
that
he
as
threw
a
me up
cover
against the
up
car.
now,
All
I
of a
guess.
sudden he dead. Like, don't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Don't just be, oh,
Okay, I
like
understand
acknowledge the fact that you had a smart mouth. Like, you know
saying
what
what
I'm
he's
saying?
saying now. So he
Yeah, I get
basically,
it.
Yeah. Basically,
basically
don't use
she
that
could have
now
kept that
that
out. She
your
could have kept that
father's
out and
passed
not,
out.
yeah,
I mean, passed away, and now you want to come up with
right.
all these accusations.
That's
But
my
Yeah,
like
point.
that
That's
could
Queen
have
all I'm
just that could
saying.
said,
have just stayed
if
out
you
of the
was gonna do
conversation.
that, you should have did that when your father was alive. You
When
know,
he
you should
did
have
it,
that off your chest when he was alive, because a person that's gone away don't hear what you're saying. Only you know what you're saying because you could have said that when that person was around. So yes, I get it now. What he's saying,
And then
don't
we
use
all could have been
that.
on his ass like, bro, you throwing your daughter up against the window, bro. That shit ain't cool. Like we all
But
could have been
that's
on his ass.
still not cool for him because that's a girl. That's his baby girl. You telling the next nigga he might. What you telling the next man? It's all right for you to slang her head against the wall because she got a smart mouth.
So,
Period.
but from what I
Well,
heard,
he be talking
I
about
didn't
that in
know
his
what I
podcast
heard.
anyways.
Was that just one incident that I heard? I didn't hear her ongoing about her father.
Yeah, I ain't hear
She
nothing
was
else.
telling a story. Is that right?
Well, she said
Yeah,
that
that was
nothing
just
else
that
happened.
one
She said,
story.
Yeah.
she ain't never got in trouble. She ain't never been in no trouble. And when he actually did it, she felt like she ain't understand why. And that's what I was saying. Maybe, again, like I said, I don't think that it's right, but maybe it was the buildup. You've been talking to me, you 20-some years old, and you've been talking to me crazy since you was freaking 9. And finally, I just was like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I understand it, but at the end of the day, he probably should have been checking in when she was 9.
Hey,
So.
boom. Check this out. Your children's is what you are. Stop playing. Your children's is what you are. So evidently she had to be just like her daddy because look at his mouth. Stop playing now. I let him rest in peace, but I'm
I
saying look
definitely
how you
respect that. I
talk.
respect that too. I
Come
respect that
on now.
100%.
The
Your
point.
But it's
children's are
crazy
what
is
you
that
are.
Kevin Samuels talks about that in some of his podcasts about like, if you got a smart mouth, ain't no man gonna want to be with you. Ain't nobody gonna want, and so forth. So I hear what you're saying, Boom. I guess I can look at it that
What
like
y'all
that.
need to
I hear what
understand
you're
is your
saying too,
children
but it
is what
didn't
you
seem to
are.
me like she was
Tanza,
going on
what
about abuse from
Tanza?
her father.
I
She
hear
just
you,
told the
but
story. That's
nah,
all it
we need
seemed
to
like.
soak it in. Your children is what you are. Period.
Yeah. But I
It's
mean,
like,
Because
I
she's
get what
old
he's
enough.
saying. It just didn't seem like an
She's old enough to
overpouring of
know.
badness.
And if she watching this show, baby, trust me, I'm not down you, and I'm not saying what he did was okay, but your children is what I got a smart mouth. My mama got a smart mouth. I'm just like her. I'm just like my mama. I got it honestly. But she ain't finna take my head through no window. But what she did do was blew my chest out to where I couldn't breathe. Now I got that part of it, and I never again ever in life disrespected her
but
because
I'm
that
saying
was the
now, Miss
best
Sneed, what's
thing
the
ever.
difference? What's the difference on somebody almost taking your breath away and you dying, and somebody putting your head through the window?
Hey, ain't no difference. What I'm saying is, you said we all got this, whatever, by our parents. I'm telling you, I never got my head took to the window. My mama hit me in my chest when my smart mouth kicked in. That's what I'm
But he's
saying.
saying it's
So
the
if he would
same.
have
He's
punched
basically
this
saying it's
girl
the
in her
same thing,
chest,
though.
if he would
Yeah,
have
it's the
punched this girl
same
in her chest,
thing, but that little hit to the chest ain't hurt like her head did to that window. I can tell
I
you
bet
that.
she wasn't chasing her breath.
It just didn't seem like a big
Yeah.
deal. So I have to see, there must have been a lot of comments about that story because that story pretty much went over my head. It didn't seem like a big deal to me. We all have had moments, either as a child or as a parent, where you've gone a little bit too far and you almost took your kid out or you almost got taken out by your. We all have that story. So
Yeah.
it didn't seem like anything serious to me. Not like, oh, somebody should have called 911 on him or anything like that. Not in the way that she told it. And from
And
how
y'all
I
know
didn't
how
even know
black
he had
folks,
a daughter,
y'all
to be
know how
honest.
black folks is. We all got different ways of chastising our kids. So I'm gonna say that part too.
and I don't even like the
Well,
guy, but that part
that
didn't
don't
bother
mean we don't love our kids. You feel
me.
me? Like she said, I do got a smile. Well, hell, you got a smile mouth. Why you gonna disrespect your daddy like that? Now I feel you. What's his
She
name?
said she didn't know what she did when he did it. She didn't say she got a smart mouth with him.
And she did say this
Oh,
happened when she
Well,
was
that's
young.
probably why he did it, because he got smart with him.
But she said it
okay.
She
happened
didn't
when
even know
she
what
was
she
young.
did to
She
deserve
said
that.
she
That's
didn't know
exactly
what
what
she
she said.
did. Okay, I got you.
So I'm thinking
Well,
she probably got smart with him. He said something. She probably got smart with him. These is just me alligating shit, but she probably said something crazy, and he just did what he did. Like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't right, but sometimes people do
it
Well,
crazy
I
probably
didn't
shit.
even
was
know
some
he even had
I
a
reflex.
don't think
It
he
daughter.
did.
probably was some
He
reflex.
never really, That's
I just thought
another
it could
thing
have
that
been
she was
used as
saying.
a
He
reason.
wasn't
Like,
there for her.
yeah, and then I mean, like
Yeah, I didn't
I'm
know he
looking
had a
at her.
daughter, and then I didn't even know he was married.
Oh, he's been married twice.
Broke though. She ain't say that he left her
Neither.
fucked up. He ain't say that she ain't had nothing. She was broke. She ain't had no money, or she
It's
out
not
here
always
struggling.
about money. A lot of parents make that mistake. It's not always about
Right.
because you buy your kids this
Nope.
or give your kids that. Sometimes they want that time.
Yeah, the time is cool, but I'm just saying, like, what I'm saying as far as the story go, I can see the story was like, my dad ain't never fucked with me. He ain't never rocked with me. Once he got on, he got all this little money and stuff, and then I said something to him crazy, and he tried to throw my head up against the window. I'd have been like, yeah, that's some bullshit. You ain't even have my back. Like, you know what I'm saying? You expect me to respect you? Like, but obviously he done had her back. Obviously he done looked out for her. Even if he wasn't there mentally, or, you know what I'm saying, to support her, that's maybe not even his job as a man. Like, as a man, we can tell you, you know, to watch out for this dude and watch out for that dude, but the woman really supposed to have those conversations. We can't have those conversations.
It's both parents. Come on now, it's both
No,
parents.
it's both
Thank
parents,
you.
but mentally,
Right.
we gonna talk to you about something. You can't show my son how to use the bathroom, Miss Mother. I don't care what you
I
talking
raised
about.
2 boys and I potty trained them. Obviously, they pissing because a man showed them.
Yeah, but how many times you cussed them out about missing the toilet?
I just put some Cheerios in the potty, told them to shoot at them. It was no problem. Done.
That's my point exactly. But you couldn't stand there and show them how to do it. You had to give them a something to.
But I got it done.
I'm
You said a
saying
woman
though, at the
can't
end of
do
the day,
it, but I got
okay,
it done.
so me being a man, and when my daughters go on their cycles or whatever, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go buy you these pads, but let me tell you about the cycle situation.
Google.
No.
Or you got women you can ask. There's way. If there's a
My
will,
point
there's a way.
exactly.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Of course you can.
Man,
There are
Siri
many
smart.
fathers,
Okay,
many
so now I'm sitting here
daughters,
with
plenty
women
of
who think that
mothers who
they can
raise
He
raise.
got Siri. He can
So
talk to
women just feel like
Siri.
they can raise a man for real. That's just what we think. Okay.
Well, no, see, now you're taking
A
it too
woman
far.
can't
We're talking
raise
about whether
no
or not a
man.
woman can potty
Taking it
train
to
a
a whole
man
nother level.
or teach
Yeah,
her
we're on
how
another
to be a
subject. Let's
man.
get
Those are
back
two
to
different things.
No, I'm
Of
not
course you
looking
can
at that.
potty
I'm
train. I
talking
can
about
potty train a
overall
girl
when
or a
she's
boy.
saying that he wasn't there for her mentally. Like as far as a woman go, you gonna want that woman to be there for you mentally. That sadness that you want a man to have, we not gonna have. We gonna be the ones to be like, no, man. Throw that shit to the side, bro. Be tougher. Where a woman gonna actually sit there and empathize and sympathize with you. So that's what I'm saying. As far as the
We're
man
talking
and woman,
about a girl, though, a daughter. We're
a
not talking
daughter,
about a
even a
boy.
daughter. Like, man, I can't sit here and be like, yeah, girl, good at that. I like them tight pants. You look good in that. Like, no, I'm gonna tell my daughter to go put on some druggy pants. Like, come on, let's just be real. I'm not gonna be able to
Okay,
empathize
and
with you on how
maybe
such
she
a
might have
little.
wanted that, but she didn't get that. None of that is what she's saying.
How I'm gonna give you that? I'm gonna tell you to put on some druggy pants. Is what I'm saying. Then you gonna resent me because now I don't like what you're wearing.
But I do think that on this particular podcast, we try to be progressive in our thoughts and in how we're doing things nowadays. And so one of the most important things to realize is that no matter what parent you are, the father or the mother, that there are important things that we should be teaching our kids on both ends. And it cannot be left up to one parent to teach this and another parent to teach that. So if we're going to teach a girl how to be a young lady, there needs to be feedback from the male figure in the household and the female figure. If we're going to teach a man to be a man, there's got to be feedback from the female figure in the household and a male figure in the household. So what we don't want to do is start going backwards and be like, well, you know, it's up to mom to teach the girl how to be a woman and up to dad or up to mom to comfort and show love and up to dad to be tough. We got to be more progressive than that. We got to make sure that we're all carrying equal weights because mom and dad aren't always going to be there and you don't know who goes first. Okay. Right. When dad's gone, mom's got to step in. When mom's gone, dad has to step in. And that is why you can teach, whether you're a female or a male, a young man or a young woman to piss. Okay? You can teach them. You may not be able to tell them all of the ins and outs.
That's what I'm saying. We're going to elaborate on just the picture part.
But you got to be able to do some basics, right? You got to agree with that, Boom.
I agree with it. I agree with the whole business part thing and the Cheerios and showing them, like, you know what I'm saying, little tricks and trades. But I'm just talking in general. Like, y'all just not going to understand like, the hormones of a man. Just like the man is not going to understand the hormones of a woman. Once I start hitting these hormones, like, I'm not going to be able to, like, empathize or sympathize with you on what you're going through as a girl.
Right.
That's why times to say the man come in and the woman come in. See, the woman teach you how to be a woman, but that man show you how to get you ready for that man. You get it, Boom?
It's a
my
Because
difference.
my daddy taught me a lot about men and what to look out in a man and what to want from a man. My mama couldn't tell me all that. All she can teach me is how to be a woman and grow up and with the hygiene part. But my daddy was the one teaching me about these mans out here on the streets.
Right.
It would be equally as bad to say that a father, is not capable of changing a diaper, whether it's a boy or a girl, because that's a woman's job. Of course,
No,
a
I would
man
never
can
say that.
change a diaper.
Right.
It's a matter. It's a matter of mechanics. Step 1, step 2, step 3. So if you're a man and you have a little girl that's going through puberty and she starts a period, maybe you are not going to be able to go all deep into emotions, but you can do the mechanics. Here's what let me go buy you some pads. Let's read it together.
But look, when you get to tripping and you walking around here and you got an attitude because you bleeding or whatever, I can't understand that. I still want my kitchen clean. Like I'm paying you, I'm paying you allowance to keep the house clean.
Damn, if I got cramps,
I said you still need your kitchen clean.
He plays too much.
Do not take this to the relationship aspect. I'm talking about my children. Our children cleans dishes. Our children cleans. So when your daughter at 13, 14 years old starts to bleed or whatever, I'm still expecting my kitchen to be cleaner. I'm still expecting whatever chores you're supposed to do. Excuse me, I'm sorry to say kitchen. Whatever chores you have to do, I'm still expecting it done. I'm not sitting here understanding the fact that, you got this cycle going on. Maybe you have something mentally going on. That's not running through my mind.
But actually you do.
You do.
Actually,
There's a lot that you go through when
you just said it.
Cramp, they can have back pain. They get a headache. They get nauseated. You want me to come in the kitchen and do dishes? I'm cramping and nauseated.
You do know, because you just said, when her period is on and she don't. So you do know what happens. But like you said, you don't understand it because you've never experienced it. But because you do know.
First off,
about it.
Y'all running around here bleeding for 7 days.
Okay.
2 weeks if we don't like you.
And while we bleed, it's cleansing all our
systems. It ain't been 7 days for me.
That's why we bleed, because it cleans out our system.
We lie, Jamie.
All that bacteria.
You said what?
Something to give us all these different emotions for 7 days. And I'm sitting here like, here go a rose. Here goes some chocolate. No, bitch. Here goes something. No, bitch. Here goes some food. No, bitch. I'm like, oh my God, let me get the hell away from this person.
Exactly.
Well, as you get older, you're able to control your emotions, though. As you get older. Now, as a teenager, you can't really.
You know, just leave us some Tylenol.
But we talking about Kevin Samuels and his daughter at this point, and her smart ass mouth.
Lord, I was just about to ask, how does this relate to Kevin Samuels? But I got it.
I know, right?
No, because we talking about like how she was saying like he wasn't around and he wasn't there for her mentally and all this, and I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure the mom should have been there more than him. Like, you know what I'm saying? He could tell her about these dudes or whatever, but she actually.
But she still wants her dad. She just wants her dad around. Like I don't have a father, and I would love that. You know what I mean? But
and I would say this. She asked him about something that happened in his past, and this man said, "Oh, my uncle punctured me with a pen when he was putting my diaper on," and he making everything a joke. I don't know if men don't know how to express themselves. You know how we express ourselves. We're not about to be sitting here. Unless we really, really love you as our woman, we damn sure not about to just be sitting here crying on your lap, telling you like, oh,
I don't think she was expecting him to cry on her lap. I think she wants to know her dad, understand her dad, know about his past. A lot of kids want to understand what was in your past. She wants to know why he is the way he is.
We don't do that.
So you are not going to express. So if your kids come to you and ask you questions, you're not going to express to them, because those are the people that you should kind of express.
I'm gonna tell them like, yeah, I got my ass whooped because I did such and such, but I'm not gonna say, oh my God, I was crying in the corner.
I don't think that's what she's expecting, though. I don't even as me. Like, listen, I'm not even expecting. Yeah, she's not expecting. That's like even as your significant other.
Is it not our goal again to be progressive and to do better than our parents did? So we should all be focusing on. Listen, now we understand more about human nature than we did 50, 60, 70, 100, 150 years ago, right? So we know that our children need emotional support. Is it not our job as people to be more progressive and not just rest on that's not what my mama did and that's just how women are, but rather try to change to be able to be better parents today?
Yeah.
You have
You know what
to.
I'm saying? Why would we not want to do that just because that's not what men do or that's not what women do? I mean, I'll go to a football game if that's what my son wants to do. I don't like football, but I will
Right.
support that. You know what I'm saying? And so why are we not willing to adjust?
That's different than you telling me that I'm supposed to show my kids all these emotions. Then when you go out here on the football
What's
field,
wrong with your kid knowing that
But we're
you
not
have
telling you
emotions?
to
You
all
are
on
human,
the
right?
emotions.
football field and he gets smacked by one of these little boys, or one of these little boys say something to him and he want to be all sad and shit. Like, no, I need my son to be tough. We
See,
don't
that's that
that's
Which is
toughness.
fine. That's
Talking
different.
about
I think,
having
boo, you're
emotions
going.
does not equate to being weak. That doesn't having emotions, because we all have them, including you
I got a
as
lot of
a
emotions.
man,
I wear
and you're
my
not
emotions on
weak.
my sleeve.
Yeah, they kicking
You're
in.
not weak. So
But
why would we want to teach our kids, male or female, that having emotions means weakness? So the only way to be a
The
good
emotion,
father is to try to
it's the
pretend
way that
like
you
you don't
use your
have
emotion.
emotions with your kids.
It's the way that you use your emotion. So if I'm sitting here telling you that I did all this crying when I got hurt or something like that, and it's okay to cry when you get
I
hurt.
don't think that's not what they're saying. I think you're looking
I think
into
that's
it
what they're
like,
saying.
no, it's more of she just wants to have, like, let's just say hypothetically I end up meeting my dad. I'm not gonna expect him to cry. I'm not gonna do anything. I just want to know what is what, why. How come you disconnected? How come you split? I'm just wanting to know exactly what took place. Why? Now I don't expect you to cry. Maybe I'm gonna cry because I'm a woman. I'm just an emotional person. But in all reality, like, I don't expect.
So how do I tell you not to? So you
Like,
think
if
what
I'm
you
talking to my significant other, I'm not expecting them.
your dad, not
Huh?
significant enough.
Well, dad's significant other, a male, just in period. I'm not expecting no male to sit here
Hey,
and cry
your man gonna do
every
something
time they
different than what
express
your dad gonna
themselves
do.
to.
Listen, men cry too.
Say it one more time.
We
You know
know
that
the
for a
Yeah.
freak
fact.
because I was crying
I've
the other
had a
day.
man cry in front
Well,
of
I
me.
know that.
They cry too.
I've seen
It's
one
just the
too.
fact that
Like,
they
but
feel like they gotta
but
hide
more,
it.
she just wanted her dad to express or show some type of emotion because he
Yeah.
probably walks around and acts like he has no type of feelings
Right.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, everything is a joke. So obviously there's something wrong with you, because if you can walk in here and not have any type of emotions, there's something internally going on with you. And she just wants to know what's wrong with my dad. Not to sit here and cry, not to do. I want to know, like, what's wrong? Like, how
Show
come?
love.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, how come I
Just
don't get
show
no type
love.
of
Show me
affection?
that
Guess
you love
what?
me.
When she decides to move
That's
on
it.
and be with somebody, she's not gonna understand, or that love, like, she's not gonna know. Like, it's gonna be weird to her. So she just
So,
wants an understanding from her father.
so
And
let
Son,
me
she
you
ask
got
probably
a
wasn't.
lot of
She probably
comments.
wasn't going. She probably wasn't gonna get the answer either from her father, because she said she
She
wanted to
probably
know
wasn't.
why.
No,
She
yeah, she
probably
probably
wasn't gonna never
isn't.
give her the answer. So now she just like, why? She just speaking out.
Why don't
You
you
know,
show
you crying
anything?
to me,
Why
daughter,
are you so numb to me? Like, basically,
right?
like, what did I do to you for
if
you can't
For
express
you
to me?
to right.
my
I
daughter
hear.
bring
I be
my daughter bring me her issues, I'm gonna be sympathetic. I'm gonna try to be empathetic if I went through it, but I'm gonna be simple or however either one of those words. I'm gonna do it. But what I'm saying is, when you want me to give you my story, I'm not giving you my story all emotional and shit. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not giving it to you. So if you got a problem with that, then that's the problem that you got to deal with, because I'm not giving it to you. Now, if you come to me with your situation, then yes, I'm gonna give you some emotion. Yes, I'm gonna give you whatever it is that you're asking for. But when you asking about my personal experience, if I don't give it to you, you can't be mad at me about that child or not. You just can't be, because I don't have to give it to you. Maybe I don't even want to relive
Well,
that.
but how are you gonna say that? Are you just gonna say I don't feel like I should express that,
Or
or
you
like,
just gonna say none of your
maybe
business.
or you just not gonna say it? Or
yeah.
you gonna
That's
say
what
it's
we
not
gonna
none of your
say.
business? Because that's the difference. Because what if he's not saying anything at all and just ignoring it, or you say it's none of your damn business? I guess it just depends on how he's delivering it to her, for her not to take it however she's taking it. So you mean to tell me that you're just gonna tell them it's none of your business if your daughters
Yeah.
ask
Wouldn't
you?
tell them their business, but I would say that's something that I'm not trying to relive. Like, listen, I cried. I just cried the other day. I've been damn near crying since April. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just recently left my fucking kids, like, all the way in Arizona to get away from my situation. And I really don't like that. So every day when I'm looking through my pictures, every day when I'm seeing my kids' pictures and stuff like that, or I'm talking to them on the phone, that shit hurt because I'm not waking up no more. So I get it twisted. I'm talking about cry, tears down my fucking eyes. I have to wipe my fucking face, all that. Yes, I have emotion. But what I'm saying is, sometimes there are things that a person just don't want to relive as a man. So if my daughter talking to me about when I was time I was sad, that would be a time I would tell her, yeah, I was sad when I had to walk away from y'all, when I had to go to make sure that the situation was better and not worse. Yes, I was sad. But when we talking about some, oh, what happened between you and your grandma, or what happened between you and your dad, or your feelings and your mom, I may not want to relive that because, hey, I maybe even rekindle my relationship with my mom to where if I freaking start talking to you about the things that happened between me and my mom, it might make it worse. Like, you know what? I don't even like my mom no more. I just remember. Like, so a lot of times we don't do that. We just if we sold these bridges, we close these bridges off. We don't like to keep going into that like women would do.
I
Women
don't
would
think that's
definitely.
because you're
I
a
can
man.
understand what you're saying,
I don't
Boom,
think
but
that's, I mean, men
what
and
you-
women get like that about certain parts of their life. So I don't think it's because you're a man. And you
Yeah.
absolutely have a right to hold on to your whatever secrets you have locked up that you don't want to share. That's okay. Everybody
Yeah.
does that. So I don't think that that's a man woman thing. But I will tell you
making
this.
it a joke. You making it a joke, like he just obligated to tell her.
No, I don't think anybody
No.
did that.
I don't
No,
know.
nobody did that.
That's what she
I
said.
think that's just how you would
What I
take
got
it.
out of what she was saying is that she just wanted to understand her dad. I don't think
Right.
I think you just really taking it out of context.
You just want to know why her dad. Yeah, she just a woman want to know.
I didn't hear that at all, Boom. But
I
I
bet
will tell you that
Boom,
my dad
tripping. Sit
was
back, boom.
the
You all right?
toughest
I gotta go
SOB
listen to it again. I
I
don't
ever
think
known.
y'all analyzed this. So I don't think y'all analyzed this or comprehended what she was saying. I'm looking at it. She crying. Oh, I didn't want to cry. I just wasn't gonna cry. Like, come
Well,
on,
we
man.
can't see all
But
that, so
she's
that's why you said
emotional
right.
right
She
now.
just needs somebody to talk to.
Trying to bring this man down about one story. She didn't give us 6 stories. She didn't say he used to beat my ass every day. He used to fuck me up. All this other stuff. Like, she had one story where he did something wrong and he fucked up. But for the most part, she stated her own self. She didn't even get in trouble.
That's what I'm saying. I
But
didn't
when
even
you're
take
not
it
used to it and it
as
happens, yes, it's probably gonna hurt. If she
I
ain't
didn't even
like
take that as an important story in her conversation, but you picked up on it, which is interesting to me.
Because they've
It
been
was
trying to
just
dog
one of
this
those
man
things
ever
that was
something
said.
like that. That's why. Because they been trying to dog
Oh, so that's your friend. Kevin Sam is your friend. He look.
yeah, that's
Yeah, that's his
I rock with the
Well, she didn't ruin him. He did a great job at it.
I rock with
already.
the early Kevin
Already.
Samuels, the first Kevin Samuels when Kevin Samuels first came out and he was on Us. See, a lot of times, even the women, they don't even look at the fact that if you go to Kevin Samuels when he first came out, he was dogging all men. You feel me? He was letting us know, get the fuck up off your ass. Stop playing the game. Stop depending on women to take care of you. Stop running to these women's house. He was on that. But a lot of times women don't show that. So what happens is you get one person that comes on here, he check her, he finds out that works for him because now he getting 30, 40, 50,000 views a show, and now he gonna keep on doing it, and it's called capitalization. So now if we want to be sheep and run with it and be like, oh, then we can. But at the end of the day, if you really want to go to the first beginning of Kevin Samuels, he was on men. He was dogging us.
Wait a minute. So you love you some Kevin Samuels
Girl,
because he
yes.
capitalized. Wait a minute.
yes,
Because he
Kazza.
capitalized on something. But
No,
now you're
no,
going to
no.
get mad at his daughter because you think she's trying to capitalize on him. Is
I
that
Yes,
not
Kazza.
the
You get it now.
Like,
Hold
dog,
on now. Back it up.
Hey,
I said
Miss
like
Nanda,
like
she get it
like
now.
daughter.
It up.
Listen,
Okay,
I
you
call him
can't.
sheep.
The knife cuts both ways now. Cut
But
that
I
out.
said that though. I said she trying to be just like her father and capitalize. I said that in the
But,
beginning.
okay, but again, I just want you to hear this. When she was talking, that little story about her father knocking her head up against was like 30 seconds that didn't even matter to most people that listen.
And then what
You
else?
know what I'm saying? It was not an important story.
And then what else? And
Do
then
you know what I'm saying? It wasn't anything. I didn't take it away and think, I don't even like him. But I didn't think, oh, he's an abusive father. I didn't read that.
I felt like that was the kicker.
No, it wasn't. I'm just here to tell you. And that was my first time hearing it. It had no effect.
You don't think so?
No, I really don't. Now, I don't know about anybody else.
I mean, that's what I'm about to say. In personal opinion.
It just didn't. It was just one, because I've been knocked upside my head. So it didn't feel like, oh, now I wasn't thinking, oh, now he's a child abuser. No,
Yeah.
he's.
I didn't think that
She
either.
just expressing herself.
I want to play
Yeah,
this.
it was just a little girl
That's
talking
it.
about stories.
And I think everybody needs to listen because she stated in the beginning she didn't even want to say some of these things that she about to say because she didn't want to hurt her father. So
She
then
didn't
she
want
come
to
out
make
with
him
that.
look bad.
Right. So then she come out with that, and that's the kicker. I'm
But
saying.
So
boom.
now, but I
to me
still
that
feel
you
like
really,
if she would have came out
really
before
hung
he
on
died
that.
or now, she couldn't have made him look no worse than he already looks.
Man, listen, this is
At
not
all.
about
That
him look any
I'll be
worse.
glad when Boom
Already
sits
look.
back. Yeah, you know what? Well, I know been on Kevin Samuels shit. What's up? Let me see.
This is about
Yeah,
her.
I'm
About
finna get
her.
to
shit,
some of the comments, and then I'm
yeah,
gonna play
because
that other.
Kevin, yeah, you know, rest in peace, Kevin.
Okay, so Stacy says, I don't think he ever acknowledged his daughter. I watched one of his videos and a few clips, but I wasn't a die hard Kevin Samuels watcher. I don't think she's trying to capitalize off his death, and if she is, so what? So is everyone else on every YouTube channel since he passed. Everybody has been talking about him loud. We're talking about him now, and
Yep.
she's got the laughing emoji. She also says if she damn, it's a lot of comments here. Hold on.
Yeah, it
Just got
is.
okay. If she had talked about him when he was alive, people would have said the same thing. Oh, she's trying to capitalize off him, or she must want money. And I think he had 2 kids, and he was supposedly behind in child support. Another person says, I gotta listen to it. Yes, please do. And she also says, and even though he was a grown man, he can do what he wanted, obviously, but he didn't exactly practice what he preached. High value. His behavior from taking home a chick he just met at his home is not high value behavior. Erica says my mama slapped the taste out of my mouth. Me, mine
Right.
too.
Right.
Time is everything. And then she said my dad too. Not crying, not not show emotion. She just wanted an understanding. I understand what Miss Tanza is saying. I raised my 2 boys on my own, potty trained and all. However, I do believe their dad should have been the one to potty train the boys. But being that it wasn't, being that he wasn't there, I had no choice. I did what I had to do as a single parent. It's not the parents of the opposite sex and more or less qualified to raise their children of the opposite sex, but I do feel it's important that boys have their dad to teach them to be men, and the same for girls. They need their I think mom.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Mhm.
Crying don't make you weak. I
Nope.
was hard on my oldest, but my youngest is a tad bit different. At least when he's at home. Who said she wanted? Who said she wanted emotion? She wanted answers.
That's all I want.
She is grieving. She is grieving. Of course, she's going to cry.
Yeah.
There was a lot about my dad I didn't know because he never talked much about his life. But if ever my dad had some come pick me up, and if I got smart and he hit me, oh boy, first I would have been shocked as hell, even though I knew getting smart is wrong. And then my mom would have got him.
Well,
I
good
was going to
job.
say my dad was a military man and very tough. He drank a lot when he was younger. So when my younger years, I remember my father as a drinker. But some years later, when he got older and after he retired, and my mother passed away, it was the first time I had ever seen my father cry, and he never stopped since. When I say never stopped, I'm not saying he walked around like a sap, but my mother passing and him coming out of the military and retiring changed him as a man. And that's when I was able to have like heart to hearts with my father instead of, because he was a disciplinarian and stuff. I just saw a different side of him when I got older and my mother passed away. So I challenge you, Boom. I wonder what it'll be like when your kids are now, when you're a 70, 80-year-old man and your daughters are coming to you and talking to you about different parts of their life. I bet you your emotions for them, even your sons, will change.
I'm an emotional dude. When my daughters come to me, I'm giving them everything. You feel me? My problem is, again, like I said, I feel like it's cheap. I think that we look at these superstars, we look at these popular people that's known or whatever, and we hold them to a certain standard. And that's a real issue. We forget that they're regular human people. Like, so what ends up happening is, oh, you're LeBron James, you're not supposed to do anything wrong. Like at the end of the day, and so that's where my problem lies at. We start being sheep. Oh, he said this on camera. It's capitalization, people. If I'm going to get paid off of saying this stuff and y'all goofy enough to believe everything that I'm saying, then pay me. Listen to these rappers. These rappers don't even be doing half the shit they be talking about, but they sell. They sell. It's bullshit. They sell. So now we bad at Kevin Samuels for selling. Like, come on, he doing the same thing a rapper doing. He doing the same thing a movie doing. Are we really gonna be sheep and listen to this? Because when I get done listening to Kevin Samuels, either I'm gonna laugh or I'm gonna do this dumb shit that he talking about. That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna do the dumb shit that he talking about. So if I'm sitting here doing the dumb shit he talking about, then that makes me a fucking fool. At the end of the day, am I watching this for entertainment or am I really believing you? And if you really believe in them, then you a fucking sheep. And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
He is a fan.
And when we
That's
get
a
off
real
this
fan
show,
right there. That's all I got to say. That's a real fan.
all I got to say is when we get off this show, I want you to go back and look on this show and listen to yourself how you just talking like
Hey man,
that.
who really? I
From
don't listen
low
to Kevin
bass to high
Samuels.
bass.
I don't listen to Kevin Samuels to believe what he's saying. I don't get
I
no
mean,
game
you
from Kevin
going
Samuels.
like, boy,
Kevin Samuels don't give me no
Going
game.
in hard for him.
Huh?
he going in.
in
Huh?
hard
He
for
ain't
him.
Because all
breathe or
But I'm
nothing.
just telling you that
I'm
you
saying
fighting
is
for a man that the girl
everybody,
didn't even attack him. I'm just saying she didn't even
Right.
attack him.
She
everybody,
just
Fight
want to
her.
know
She
why
didn't
she
even
got hit up the head and you went
everybody
like,
jumping man's wave, man. Everybody he dead, and everybody.
But the girl didn't attack him. I'm saying you jumping her and she did not
you
attack the
just
man.
Exactly. She
check
just
him,
spoke
right.
her
She just
truth.
want to know.
And
All
I
I'm trying to
don't
say.
think it's fair to jump her because she spoke her truth. She's
Because
not,
he
that's
True.
that is
Right.
her
She
truth.
just
That
want to
is her
know.
right. Those are
you
her
want us all to
feelings.
be
Like
like,
that
oh my
said, everybody come on YouTube with a story. Why she
he
can't come with
already
her
lost.
story? Shit.
Look how he treated his daughter.
For
Look how he
real.
treated his daughter.
Everybody got a story for YouTube. Shit. This is her story. Either we like it or move on. Shit. Why be mad at her? Everybody got a story, boom.
Or it's just,
Everybody got a story.
it's just
Actually,
more
I didn't even
for
really
people to
hear
use.
much of a story.
It's
I'm
just more
gonna go
I
back.
don't even know about this.
First
You
story.
know what, Taz? I don't even know Kevin. I just met Kevin today for the talk show. I'm not now. I don't know nothing
But you
about
go look up
Kevin.
thing.
I'm
You go look
learning.
up
Do not go look. Don't go look him up, Miss Sneed. Don't
Don't look
listen
him
to
up.
Boom.
And don't
I
look,
want
don't
to
look
play
him up.
this. I
Don't look
want
him
to
up.
play this.
Confuse you.
Listen,
I
don't
want
look
to
up.
play this. I'm gonna
Okay.
play this, and y'all can.
Don't look up his shows.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
Y'all crazy.
How old are you? Let's say you were to get married. You got a daughter, right? Let's say we
Turn
had
it up,
two
Miss
kids.
Londa.
Your child is 5. So
Hey, I'm finna go to the comments. The comments.
your daughter comes home and said, Kevin looked at me getting out of the shower. What happened next?
The relationship would have to end.
Huh?
That's not something the relationship would end immediately.
Because your daughter said I looked at her getting out of the shower.
Why would that person even be close to the bathroom to see her? That would be the thing. You have to defend your seed. You have to defend your child.
Mm-hmm. But you also remember you got 2 of my kids.
Mm-hmm.
What does that have to do?
So that means I should never listen to it. That means I should avoid women like you because off the rip, your desire to defend your child blew up. You got 2 of my kids, and off rip, your protective instinct says everything, including those other 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
This pissed me off.
You said the relationship would have to end. So what would you tell our 2 children?
That's a tough situation.
No, you said relationship would have to end. So
it would have to end because
but
I
what would
would
you tell?
end it my kids. If I have 3 kids, 1 by someone else and 2 by my.
But what I'm telling you, what I'm saying is what we tell our 2 children.
Their half sister stated this happened and this is not a comfortable situation. We have to our ways.
When you get the fuck out, you can get the fuck out.
Because I'm not the one paying the bills.
No, you know, because you're not taking my kids.
Now, how can he make her feel wrong for her response? And what else do you say?
Right.
If
Can you give? Because I didn't hear the first part.
Okay, so he asked her if your daughter was in the shower and she came to you and said, your husband was looking at her as she was getting out of the shower, what do you say? Or what do you do? She said the relationship would be over. He said, why? She said, well, why would he be that close to you? Basically, where he could even see her getting out of the shower. Then he states, what about
Mhm.
our 2 kids? What does that have to do with anything? Her having your 2 kids.
So the implication is that the husband is looking at the child wantingly, and this is understood in this scenario. And so the mother says, then he's got to go. And Kevin Samuels is saying that's wrong.
He's basically saying they have 2 kids. So at the end of the day,
Right.
the girl is the girl that is the stepdaughter. So at the end of the day, he's like, okay, but I have 2 kids by you. So what about my kids? And he's telling her, you're not taking my kids. Nigga, you just got classified as a pedophile. What do you mean?
One of the reasons why I don't like him, I have no comment because the man is not here. So, Jamie, you go.
That just pissed me off.
I can't comment on it. The man is dead, Miss Londa, so I just don't want to. Go ahead.
I mean, I don't even really. She's not wrong for her. She's not wrong for how she feels, because I will feel some type of way. But yes, I'm probably gonna question them, like, what the fuck were you? Oops, I'm sorry. What were you doing? Or my daughter, our daughter, because at the time we married, whatever. But she said that you did this, so forth, whatever. And then whatever his answer is, and I can go off of the energy. If the energy ain't right, then or I'm gonna bring both of them in, or whatever. But she's not wrong for feeling the way she feels when it's all said and done.
And if anybody tries to tell you that
her
you should not follow your protective instincts, because our
instincts. And he said his kid's not going nowhere, but she can get the fuck out.
Well, he was basically saying that she would, because he pays the bills, and that him and the other girl can leave, and he can keep them 2 kids, basically. Well, the ones that were by him
that are his.
So, I mean, I don't know. I don't. It pissed me off.
It's just a roundabout way of him saying, "Oh yeah, if I did do this to your stepdaughter, I don't give a damn. You could go, you and your stepdaughter, but my kids are staying." It's like he just doesn't give a fuck. What he wants. That's how I don't know no other way.
That's how I took it. Like, fuck your kid, as long as I got my kids. It's not funny, but that's how I took it.
Boom said he was saying that children lie too, but of course, we know that children lie. But that's why we go and we ask that question. I'm gonna bring everyone in. You know what I mean?
But okay, guys.
Our kids.
If we're gonna be podcasters and we're gonna be on here podcasting, we're gonna have to analyze the whole thing. We can't.
But that's what I'm saying, Boone. I thought the understanding in this scenario is that it was an inappropriate look. So is that
the way that he brung it, this the way that he brung it to her. He basically stated that the girl stated that now, I don't know about this 13-year-old story, because what he was speaking on was just like a sick scenario. Now, what actually happened is some bullshit, you know what I'm saying? And that was by one of his followers. But what and I don't even think Kevin Samuels was speaking on what actually happened, because I think this happened after, this conversation with the girl he was having. But anyways, what he was basically saying is, how do you just, if your daughter if we got 2 kids together, after you already had a child, and then out the blue, your daughter just come and say, Boomer was looking at me. And instead of you even taking the option of saying, okay, let me find out how true this is, you just instantly go with it. That's where I think he was coming from. That's what he stated. Like, you just gonna instantly say, just like, I gotta go? Like, you ain't even gonna give me a chance, like, you know what I'm saying, to even prove myself, or, you know what I'm saying? So that's where he was coming from.
Yeah,
so,
I don't think she understood that, because I would have sat there and would
try
to investigate the situation. Yeah, I'm
so,
not gonna.
So now, if we're talking about a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm believing that. You ain't gonna. I'm believing that. I'm taking that all the way to the bank. So as soon as they tell me, I'm believing that shit. I'm bound to kill you and be wrong, because a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, I don't know, unless they've been around people who doing that shit already and they seen it. I don't think that's gonna be something that, you know what I'm saying, they just
normally don't just come to you.
Yeah, and they won't even come to him like that. They probably be like, yeah, Boomer made me touch him right there, or Boomer touched me right here. Like, it wouldn't even be like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even think they would take it as a bad thing, because they wouldn't know. So that's why I would believe it. But as far as like a 12, 13-year-old, I have seen stories where,
I've
and it's,
seen
and
them
it's in
too.
courts, you know what I'm saying, to where it'll be a whole lie. The girl just wanted, or the boy just wanted his mama back, or he wanted to get the fuck away from this person. He didn't want to be around this dude. He ain't like him as his dad, so he used any reason, anything that he could do at 14 years old to get him the fuck out the house and
But
come to find out it's a lie. So
The
that's where I
real
think Kevin
question
Samuels
is,
come
do you
from.
I
believe your
understand
child
that,
over
Boom,
me?
but it's a
But
child
everybody know
involved. So
their child.
But the child is a teenager. They talking about a teenager. They're not talking about a child. They talking about a teen
I
who
understand
already
that,
know.
but that's just like if my
I'm
child
talking
was a
about the
teenager, I know
teenager
my
child.
child. I know that my child's not gonna lie about nothing like that.
Right.
Man, what? A
And
teenager?
know,
See, that's
My,
why you gotta
no,
so
do your
my
you
research
child
telling
then.
me
You
about
can't
nothing
take
like
this
that.
on a personal level, Miss Londa. You can't make this
I'm not
personal, but
gonna
you can.
second.
listen,
Yes, I
I'm
can.
just
That's my
saying.
child. I'm not gonna second guess my child.
But what you need to do
So
then,
you
what you need to
so
do is Google. What you need to do then is go Google teenage kids who falsely accuse step parents, and you're going to see a whole list
Okay, them is
of
them
teenage.
kids.
so about how the
I,
baby
that's
But
coming
you're making
from?
it personal then. Again, I know my kids ain't gonna do it either,
I
but you're
am.
making it
That's my
personal.
child.
But you can't. We're
I'm
not
not
talking
gonna
about
go
your
to Google
child.
for one
We're
child
having a
from the tell me
conversation.
this. I'm not gonna second guess it because I know my child.
Okay, but there's two things to keep in
But
mind.
there's
Not
a
every teenager
baby
is a liar.
involved.
Not every teenager is a liar. And
And
not
where the
every
baby come
guy
from?
that you're with or not every
That's what I'm
husband
trying
is
to
perfect,
say.
right? So you've got to weigh it.
Why
You gotta
y'all ain't
wait.
paying
You
attention
got to
to the
weigh it.
baby?
There's something we
We
got to
not
do.
worried about her no more. Let's get to the baby. How did the baby come about? Y'all saying she willingly laid on her back and he just humped on her. She got pregnant and kept the baby. Boom. Is that what
We ain't
going
talking
on?
about no pregnant. They ain't say nothing
No,
about no baby
it wasn't
getting
a
pregnant.
pregnancy.
Yeah, it wasn't no
Wait a
pregnancy.
minute. What topic we on?
She
We still
basically
on the
saying that
first topic.
she basically saying that he was looking at her when
She's
she got the
talking
shower.
about she's talking about the
And we
follower of Kevin Samuel was molesting his stepdaughter and
Oh, she's talking
impregnating her
about
at
that part.
13.
stepdaughter. We talking about the
Okay, yeah, let's go to
stepdaughter
that
now,
shit. That's
boom.
bullshit.
Yeah, that's what we on. You still don't care. We on something else. We about the
No, because
stepdaughter now.
y'all was talking crazy when y'all first like I don't want to hear it. Take this on. I don't want to hear none of that
Now
shit.
my
Nah, we
second
talking about.
Way oversensitive when it comes to
See,
this
you,
Kevin
you.
Samuel
I
stuff.
told you when we get off this show,
Way
you better go watch this
oversensitive.
show and see how aggressive
Yes,
you
man.
is
I
today.
feel like y'all part of
Cause
the.
you
I
going.
feel like y'all part of the He Man hater
No,
clique. You know what I'm
we
saying?
ain't
No,
you
I feel like
are
y'all some
I
man
don't
haters.
hate
bad.
nobody. No, I'm not a hater.
I'm marching with him.
So I gotta
Now,
be. I
what
feel
we
like I gotta come
saying
on here and try
is,
to at
I'm
least.
just
I feel
saying,
like I gotta come
when
on here
your
and try to at
child
least speak
come
for
to
the
you,
men.
when your child come to you, the first thing to come to your mind is not to second guess your child. That is not the first thing to come, especially if you
No,
know
right.
your
hell
child.
no. No. But at the same time, we got to get some understanding, though. First off, is this the first time? Let me talk to you real quick before we get the police involved. Because what y'all got to understand is, if I just go off the hinge and say, nigga was touching my son or nigga was touching my daughter, and it really didn't happen, that man got to live with that for the rest of his life, even if it's proven wrong. Period.
That's understandable. That makes
Even if
sense.
it's
That's
proven. So
why
we
you.
just fucked
That's
this
why
man's
you
life up either way.
investigate.
That's what I'm saying. So
That's
just
why
to believe it, just
you should
because
know
you're my
your child.
child, we about to fuck
Now
this
people
man's
should
life
know
up. So
their
is you
kids.
serious? Is you serious? 'Cause we about to
You
fuck
should
this
know
man's life
your
up.
child to investigate to
Man,
know
who
if your
really knows
child
their
lying
kids?
or not.
Like, come on, Miss Nee. We really don't know
Yeah,
our
me,
kids. All right.
me.
All right. Okay, you believe
Kid,
that.
I
Yeah,
put that
yeah,
bass in my
yeah,
voice and I
yeah.
terrify my kids. Me,
Yeah, you
I
believe
know
that.
my kids. So
Believe
shit,
it.
you better quit playing.
Believe it. I
I
mean,
just
because
It's
wanna
your kid telling
read
you,
what
your kid
Erica
telling you
says
every
down
time he
here.
smashing something, your kid telling you every time they smashing something, every time they smoking something, every conversation they having with somebody, especially when
boy,
they
you
get
gotta
grown.
realize my kids is
We're
14
talking
and
about
7.
something serious, though. We're talking
We
about
talking
something
about
serious.
we
Hey
talking
man,
about
when I was 14, I gotta tell my mom what
my
I was
son.
doing
All
because
he
she
wanna
don't
do
know.
is play video
My
games.
mama
I got
don't know
good
what I was
kids.
doing. My mama
My
don't know
kids
what I was
don't
doing
like the
though.
street. My son don't like the street, and I'm blessed, and I thank God for it.
Well, when I was
My son
14, I
like
had to
video
sell dope.
games.
When I was 14, I
Nah,
had to
he
sell
ain't
dope.
gotta
I
do
had no
all that.
choice.
He
So
ain't
I'm
gotta
just
do that.
saying.
That's why he got a mom and daddy.
I
We
mean,
do
but I got
that.
a
We don't
mama and
sell
daddy
dope,
too.
but we take care of them. And
Man,
we
like
ain't
my
gotta
mama and
sell
daddy wasn't
drugs.
around though like that.
Look,
But I'm saying I
boom, we
still was
ain't
smart.
on me and you.
I didn't
We
come out
ain't
the.
on me and you. We on this young lady who was molested by her stepdad. Let's go back that way, because this ain't about me and you.
Well, that's
Wait,
some
Miss
bullshit.
Rhonda, we over time, so I just want to say this before I go.
I'm
Boom.
tired of you, boom.
I
I'm
just
out of
want
here.
you to know that Kevin Samuels whole
messed up
team
Boom Man.
cut
We
you a
done
check
fucked
tonight,
Boom up
okay?
with Kevin
They
Samuels
gonna cut
today.
you a check tonight because you
Shit,
Hey,
hell
nah.
yeah, you
I need y'all to come on podcast lit for real. I'm gonna need y'all women to
fighting
come
for
on
the
podcast
man.
lit.
It ain't even a
He
fight.
done gave me a damn headache with this damn
I'm gonna need
shit.
y'all to
It ain't
come.
even a
Hey,
fight.
I'm gonna need y'all to come on podcast lit because we finna work this
Boy,
out.
Let's do it.
I
Let's
need
do
a
it.
drink now. Shit, I don't even drink. I'm gonna go drink today.
But I just want you to know that even though the man is gone and I don't want to speak ill of
Yeah.
him, I was not a fan. I was not.
Respect.
But
I'm glad you wasn't no
still,
sheep.
not being
I'm
a
glad you wasn't no
fan,
sheep.
nothing anybody said has swayed me more one way or the other. I'm still not a fan.
I just don't want to. Where I want to swear you from is Teza and everybody else and the people that's watching, man. I want y'all to understand that this ain't no different from love and hip hop, dog. That's all I'm saying. Do not
I
be a
don't watch
fucking
that
sheep.
either.
I'm just.
I don't watch love and
Listen,
hip
I
hop.
don't watch it
I
either.
don't
What I'm
watch that
trying to,
either.
if you take the metaphor that I'm trying to throw into the air, it's basically stop following everything that you fucking see, bro. Just because you see it, don't mean that it is what it is. That's all I'm saying. Whatever it is
Oh
you
yeah, I
watch,
learned
don't
that.
mean you gotta fucking believe it, bro. So just
Okay,
Hey,
because
but let
you
me
boom.
just
following it,
hit you with
Hey,
this one here,
boom.
boom.
I
like I
learned
said,
that
he
when
was a
I got
hypocrite,
this
You're
right?
came
right.
off of Facebook. So
Everything
you
that
ain't
people
lying about
say
that
is
one.
not the truth. But let me just tell you this. When everybody is saying, just because everybody is saying it, doesn't mean they're all wrong, too. Okay?
But I understand that
Okay?
too. But we all just sitting here following him, like, oh, he said this about her. He said, bro, you're not about to sit here and tell me a 35-year-old woman is nothing, or after she's 35, nigga, I'm gonna find me. I want a grown woman. I might go get me a 40-year-old woman. What the fuck is you talking about? So you can't sit here and tell me that, like, I believe in
Oh
anything this man
shit.
talking about because he said out his own mouth, once you're 35, you useless, bro. That nigga, that shit sounded stupid. I'm just saying in general, I'm watching how people are falling in line to everything that this man is saying, and it's like y'all just looking like sheep when y'all believe everything he's saying. That's all I'm saying. He done said
It's
some
been a good
dumbass
show
shit, man. It
today.
be niggas out here, it be dudes out here like, oh yeah, he right. Bro, you look just as stupid as what he's saying. Like you really,
I know that was stupid though.
Missed
He
the
did
ball.
say that though.
You
35
missed the
after you
ball.
35, you useless. What the like? What do you mean
like,
you
come on,
useless?
man.
Man, I'm
What the
50
fuck?
and I'm just getting started.
That's
Okay?
what
Right.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's
That's
getting
what I'm saying.
started.
Like if y'all
Okay.
niggas out here listening to that bullshit for real, y'all not laughing at it, getting entertainment from it, then you a fucking sheep. That's all I'm saying.
Mm.
It just rubs me the wrong way. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
I
just don't
laugh
like
at it,
it.
but it just rubs me the wrong way. It's just like, how can you? But I see what you're saying. Like, how
Don't
can you get
believe
on
it.
a platform and I don't believe it. I don't
We
believe
change the
anything
channel when we don't see shit that we don't like,
about
right?
his
We
mouth.
change the channel.
Right, you change the
I
channel.
sure do.
Exactly.
I don't sit there and
Exactly.
watch it. I
That's
don't
all
sit
I'm
there and
saying. So
I'm
watch
you
not
ain't
it.
no
gonna
But
sheep then.
participate.
You ain't no sheep then, mama.
But Miss Londa, I have to go,
Man,
so
I'm
I'm
gone,
gonna
Miss
let
Luck.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Get
Well,
get
thank
this
you guys
baby.
for tuning in. Thank you guys for sharing in the comments. Sorry I didn't get to all the comments. We're out of time. You guys have a good night. Thank you.
Y'all have a good
Good
night.
night,
Love y'all.
y'all.
bye.
Love you too, boom. Bye bye.